Our area's most beautiful properties deserve the finest realtors. Meeks Realty Group. We focus on buying and selling residential and commercial properties throughout the tri-state area. Contact Meeks Realty Group online at meeks.us or call 304-440-1101.
The views and opinions expressed on this program do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of 580 WCHS, its employees, or WVRC Media. From the studios of WVRC Media, the country, the United States of America, the state, West Virginia, the city, Charleston. This is the Dave Allen Show on 580 Live. And your host.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
He's kind of a big deal.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
Dave Allen.
And a good Friday morning to you. Welcome to the show. The A-Train Anthony Harmon is our producer today. Biggly, Piggly, Wiggly, hotline 304-345-5858. Fruit Pharmacy text 304-935-5008. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live is coming to you from the Parmar Store Studio. Parmar and Game Changer present the annual Parmar Shootout on the campus of West Virginia State, February the 5th through the 8th. 4 big days, 8 exciting boys and girls basketball games each day. First games tipping off at 9:30 in the morning. For a complete list of games, visit Parmar Stores on Facebook or X, and if there's not a Parmar store near you now, there will be soon. And the Dave Allen Show on 580 Live brought to you by Thornhill Auto Group, including Thornhill GM Superstore. If you're looking for a powerful, luxurious, and innovative truck, then come check out the new 2024 Chevy Silverado 1500 Crew Cab LTZ and High Country today. Find new roads to Thornhill GM Superstore. Click or come by ThornhillGMSuperstore.com on the Thornhill Motor Mile US 119 in Chapmanville. Lots to get to this morning. Coming up a little bit later on. Tomorrow is the final day to register to run for office in the May primary election. Brittany Westfall is the elections director for the West Virginia Secretary of State's office. She's going to join us to talk about that. Plus, Tristan Leavitt, who's a candidate for House of Delegates, will be stopping by. Dr. Casey Sachs of BridgeValley is here. And Hannah Gardner from the Kanawha Charleston Humane Association is here with this week's Adopt Me Please Pet of the Week. But before we get to all that, yesterday, to the surprise of some, Kanawha County Commissioner Kent Carper filed to run for re-election for the county commission, and Commissioner Carper joins us now. Commissioner, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Well, good morning, Dave. Were you surprised when the Bulldogs won?
The Georgia Bulldogs?
Yeah. Well, who else? What other dogs are there?
Well, there are no other dogs as far as I'm concerned. The Georgia Bulldog. I'm a diehard, but have been since I was a kid, a big Georgia Bulldogs fan.
I understand that.
Yeah. Commissioner, I think there had been some speculation that you was questionable.
Hold on. Right now.
Okay.
No, I get to give the answers here.
I haven't given the question yet, but go ahead.
I know what the question is going to be.
Go ahead.
You've said it twice now.
All right, go ahead.
Speculation I wouldn't run for some reason or other. Well, the speculation has ended.
Okay. You made it official earlier yesterday, I guess, or that's when it all came out.
Yeah, about 4:15, something like that. If you go back and look, you won't find a foul photo of me ever. I think in 20 years registering. I mean, registering is dropping a piece of paper at the clerk's office.
It is, and it's become a lot bigger than that because people make a big deal out of it. It really does. You get the same piece of paper no matter what. So
I suspect other people will file for that office, and they'll make a big show out of it. Usually, you have people that are failed candidates. They've lost a couple of races, and they'll file, looking for something to do. So we'll see. It's up to the voters of Kanawha County, pure and simple.
And it's no secret there had been some controversy surrounding you over the last year or so. We talked about that. We don't know what the future holds there. But you feel you have a shot to win re-election now. I mean, the voters have done it every year. So
I wouldn't have filed if I didn't think I could win.
Right. You stepped down as commission president. Lance Wheeler is the new president. With your blessing, I may add. Why did you choose to step down as president?
Well, I chose to step down for a couple of reasons. Number one, I don't think it's any secret that the others wanted that position. That's number one. Number two, I held it for 20 years. It'll be 20 years before someone breaks that record. So I'm in good shape for 20 years.
Well, we wish you the best of luck. What do you want the voters of Kanawha County to know, sir? Whenever I have any other candidate for office on the show, I always say I'll give you 30 or so seconds uninterrupted. Why should people vote for you? So now that you are going to run for re-election, Commissioner Carper, what do you want the people of Kanawha County to know about you?
For over 25 years, I've had the privilege of serving the people of Kanawha County. I chose to run again. It's not my seat. It's your seat. It's up to the voters. I think if we'd spend a little more time on my record here today, I've got a pretty good record, I believe, but that's up to the voters. So I want them to know that I'm willing to continue to serve if they'll allow me to do so. It would be a great privilege and an honor.
Talk about that record. Give me a couple of examples of things, and I know it's only like a 5-minute segment, but give me a couple of examples of things maybe here during your last term that you were particularly proud of, sir.
Well, I don't really consider the last term any more important than my first term or the terms in between. I mean, there's no secret we wouldn't have the public safety complex with the Sheriff's Department and the Prosecuting Attorney's Office if it wasn't for me. That sounds like I'm bragging. And, of course, the taxpayers paid for it, so I know that. But I negotiated the work with the power company and got the building. I think that's made a big difference for public safety in Kanawha County. Everyone agrees, I believe, that I had a lot to do with saving Yeager Airport, not once, but at least twice. The list is pretty long. You don't have enough time in 5 minutes. If you want to invite me back, I'll do it. And it sounds like I'm bragging, but you asked a question, so I'm trying to answer it.
Well, you're always welcome. You're always welcome on this show. And I would be remiss, sir, and you've been on the show since these allegations have come out. Is there anything you'd like to say about some allegations that have been floated around out there about you?
You brought it up. You brought it up 5 or 6, 7 times. I think that's probably enough in one 5-minute segment.
Okay. I want to give you the opportunity if you'd like to comment on it, but if you don't, that's fine too.
Well, I did comment on it. I've given my statement on that.
That's all.
I appreciate the opportunity to be on your show.
All right. Well, you're always welcome, sir. We'll talk to you again soon. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Commissioner Kent Carper. Again, it is 9:14. It did surprise a lot of people yesterday because there was speculation. But again, I reached out to Commissioner Carper. I said, would you like to go on the show and talk about it? And he did his part. And who knows? And it is important to note that in this country, everyone is innocent until proven guilty, and that there have been no charges filed against Kent Carper. So I'm not saying that there won't be or there will be. I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball. But nothing as of yet. And he is running for reelection. And I keep hearing he's a Democrat, of course. We had a Republican person on the show yesterday that's going to be running, and I keep hearing that there's going to be at least one more Democrat. I hear speculation that as somebody who's very, very well known in the political realm as a Democrat, a former statewide office holder, is going to be filing for county commission. But they've got the rest of the day until midnight tomorrow to file. So let's move on. Let's bring in Hannah Gardner with the Kanawha Charleston Humane Association with this week's Adopt Me Please Pet of the Week. Hannah, good morning. How are you?
I'm great. How are you? I
am doing fine. You could follow up Kent Carper. Now we get to go to talk about dogs. So here we go.
Awesome.
Let's talk about this dog known as Martha Stewart. That's the dog's name. And as always, our Adopt Me Please Pet of the Week's pictures posted to Dave Allen Radio on Facebook and the Dave Allen Show on X. Tell us about Martha Stewart.
All right. Well, Martha Stewart, she is a very sweet girl. She is a female. I don't think she's fixed yet, but of course she will be before she leaves the shelter if we can get her on the schedule in time. If not, she'll always be brought back to be fixed, and she is around 1 year and 6-ish months. Again, we estimate by their gums and their teeth. So it could be a roundabout, but she is around a year old. She is microchipped, vaccinated. She came in as a stray to us along with what we assume is maybe her brother. And his name, if anybody's curious about him, is Notorious D.O.G. So
I love it.
Yeah, he and her are both available, but she is our star today. So she's very, very friendly, very, very good with children from what we have seen in our care. Of course, we always advise caution with kids and dogs, and as well as other animals as well. She is good with other animals. Dogs, for sure, we know. I'm not sure about cats, but she does prefer calmer dogs. When she's in a play group, she is kind of staying to herself or hanging out with her brother. But she does kind of hang around the other calmer dogs. But I think that's just because she's more shy. She's more kind of hesitant to going out and playing with all the other dogs. I think maybe once she warms up, that she'll definitely come out of her shell a little bit, but she is pretty laid back. She will play every now and then, but she's a good family dog, I would say. So she is a social butterfly with people. She definitely loves people. She can be a little bit shy at first if you go on too fast with her and stuff, but she's very, very sweet, and she is ready for a good home. And I believe she is around 31, 32 pounds.
And she's probably not going to get any bigger, right? I mean, that would be a good assertion.
Right. She's definitely not going to get any bigger.
She might get a little fatter, like I do, but she's not going to probably grow much, right?
Right. She might get thicker, but she ain't getting bigger.
I get you. Let me talk about something you have going on at the shelter, Hannah, and it's called this Pick Your Price deal through Sunday. Tell us about that.
Yeah. So Pick Your Price. We used to do that more often than not, but recently we've been doing a bunch of other events lately. But this event is called Pick Your Price, and it goes on until Sunday, which is the 28th. We included pretty much all of the animals this time. We included cats. We included all of our adult dogs, and then most of our puppies are included as well. We try not to include the ones that are rather new, just to give them a chance to get a home, or if they have been in our care for a while, or if they've been medical cases or anything like that. It's really just dependent. You'll have to look on their cages or ask one of the staff members, but most of the puppies are included. So I would definitely go and look at them. We are open from 12 to 6 today. So if you don't come today, if you come tomorrow or Sunday, we're open until 12 to 5. But definitely come and check it out. It is Pick Your Price. So that is literally picking your price, whatever it is that you have or want to pay. It can be more than the adoption, less than the adoption, or it can be very, very minimal. But we are just thankful that people are trying to help find homes for these babies.
Absolutely. Before we let you go, give me about 30 or 40 seconds here. What are you currently in need of at the shelter, Hannah?
Yes. So we have, I believe, upwards of 270, 272, something like that, animals in our care. So we definitely still always are needing blankets, sheets, and maybe not the big comforters or anything like that, but just big blankets and sheets and stuff like that. Dog food, we are always in need of dog food lately where we've had so many animals. Puppy food is definitely something we need, and colors and leashes is something that we always need. And then we also have our wish list on our website for Chewy and Amazon, and then we also have our wish list for just physical donations that you can bring up to the shelter. And if you can't donate, you can always volunteer and help out, or just spread the word. We are always thankful for everything that we can get.
All right. Hannah, I appreciate it, and we will talk to you soon. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Hannah Gardner again from the Kanawha Charleston Humane Association with this week's Adopt Me Please Pet of the Week. Let's review. Martha Stewart is her name. Pictures posted on Dave Allen Radio on Facebook and the Dave Allen Show on X. She's a female, came in as a stray with what they believe to be her brother. The brother's name, by the way, the notorious DOG. I love that. They can be adopted separately, though. They don't necessarily have to go together. 1 year old, vaccinated, microchip, not fixed yet, but will be. Would probably do best with calmer, laid-back dogs. Likes to be alone, super sweet, and loves attentions and cuddles. Would be good on a leash, around 32 pounds. That's about as good as she will get. So if you're looking, or about as big as she'll get, I should say, if you're looking for a perfect small dog, this would be your dog. You can go over to Dave Allen Radio on Facebook or the Dave Allen Show on X. Take a look at the picture and then get in touch with Hannah and the folks at the Kanawha Charleston Humane Association, and let's get Martha Stewart in a home. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by Live Healthy West Virginia, presented by WVU Medicine. Live Healthy West Virginia tackles pressing health issues like heart disease, diabetes, Alzheimer's, and RSV. This podcast offers insights into medical breakthroughs and preventative care, featuring WVU Medicine's expert physicians aimed at fostering healthier lifestyles and beyond West Virginia. It's a valuable resource for all. Discover the latest episodes on WVMetronews.com under the podcast menu and start your journey towards better health today. Let me knock out a couple of texts here. Let me see. Okay, I'm not reading that one. Text says, Commissioner Carper came across as a total jerk on the radio. Well, I don't know if I would go along with that or not, but that's the opinion of the texter. That interview was embarrassing, says the texter. Well, maybe it was, maybe I'm the one that made it embarrassing. I don't know. Let me see. Okay. So what I take from that interview is Mr. Carper was dodging the allegations. Question, didn't even want to say whether they're true or not. If I was accused of doing something like that, I would at least say the allegations are totally false, and I did not do that now or ever, says a texter. Text says, at some point, can't you just want to enjoy life? Let it go. You can barely walk. Okay. Texter says that interview was awkward. Well, I do make interviews awkward sometimes. Text says, Dave Allen and Kent Carper, there's no more awkward and cringy interview in the radio every single time. Just saying. I don't know if that's because of me or because of Kent. I don't know which one it is. All right. Great interview, says the texter. LOL. Yeah. Okay. Thanks. I appreciate that. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live is brought to you in part by Huston's Pizza. This month at your favorite Huston's, get a large 18-inch pepperoni pizza and an order of appetizer meatballs, only $24.99. Dine-in, delivery, or pickup. Visit HustonsPizza.com. Dr. Casey Sachs for BridgeValley coming up next on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Are you looking for a technical job in the medical field? Generations is growing and looking to add on job-trained physical therapy techs to our rehab team. To apply, visit one of our 7 convenient locations or simply click on us at generationspt.com.
Are you looking for a powerful, luxurious, and innovative truck? Hey, it's Sydney, inviting you to find new roads with Thornhill and check out the new 2024 Chevrolet Silverado 1500 Crew Cab LTZ and High Country at Thornhill GM Superstore on the Thornhill Motor Mile. Right now, you can get 1.9% APR for well-qualified buyers or $5,000 total value when you trade in an eligible vehicle. It's an opportunity to save big on the new Chevy truck.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed? Because no two people sleep the same. Only the Sleep Number smart bed lets you each choose your individual firmness and comfort, your Sleep Number setting. The Climate 360 smart bed is so smart it actively cools or warms up to 13 degrees on either side for your ideal sleep temperature. J.D. Power ranks Sleep Number #1 in customer satisfaction with mattresses purchased in-store. And now save 40% on the Sleep Number Special Edition smart bed, plus free home delivery when you add an adjustable base. Ends Monday. For J.D. Power 2023 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
Johann Schmiegel, you've got the world's highest IQ.
Yes, 247.
Wow. Did you know that thanks to Salesforce with Einstein AI, everyone's smarter? Now everyone's an Einstein, just like you.
But I'm the smartest.
Not anymore. With connected data and trusted AI, everyone can give customers experiences they've only dreamed of. Oh, look, here's a few Einsteins now.
Hey, hi.
Hola, amigo. Everyone's an Einstein?
It's okay, Johann. Let it happen. The #1 AI CRM. Now everyone's an Einstein with Salesforce.
925, Dave Allen Show on 580 Live is brought to you in part by Meeks Realty Group. Discover the unrivaled expertise of Meeks, your ultimate partners in all things real estate. Whether it's your dream home or that ideal commercial space, Meeks has you covered. Contact Rich the Realtor, 304-932-7488, and let Rich and the team guide you on your real estate journey. Take a look at their listings at meeks.us. Text says, how dare you question King Carper about a controversial subject when he's running for public office? Who do you think you are? Says the texter. I think that might have been tongue-in-cheek. Okay, let's move on. Dr. Casey Sachs from BridgeValley's here. How are you, Dr. Sachs?
Good morning, Dave. I'm great.
Well, no,
how about you?
Oh, just plain radio. I don't know how I recover from that, but anyway.
I mean, you're living the dream.
I am living the dream, as they say. I've been living this same dream for 36 years almost. But what's going on at BridgeValley? I know you've had a lot of things actually over the last couple. Looking, kind of scrolling on the social media there, and I mean, there's been a lot of stuff going on out there. You had your Win Academy. Talk about that and talk about the information session. And the time is yours, Dr. Sachs.
There is. So. First I want to hand you an invitation. What Dave's getting right now is we have our 10-year anniversary coming up in March. The college turns 10. And so we're having a gala at the Clay Center. We'd love for you to come. And the entire listening audience is also welcome to attend. Please go online and get your tickets. It should be a really fun celebration.
It looks like a fancy thing. You sure you want me there?
Yeah. I mean, I think you can pull off fancy, Dave.
You obviously haven't met me. Okay.
Cowboy boots are welcome.
All right. Very good.
But we're pretty excited about it. The college has never had something quite like this before.
Okay.
We're getting very jazzed for quite a lineup of some wonderful sponsors and a fun MC, and it should be a good night. It should be a really fun time.
And again, this is the 10th anniversary?
The 10th anniversary of the college. We're so young.
Yes, you are. You are indeed. So let's talk about some of these other things going on here. You got this WIN Academy. You had an information session, I think, held this week. Was that last night?
It was last night. It was terrific.
All right, talk for people that haven't heard you on the show before, Dr. Sachs. Talk about what the WIN Academy is.
So the WIN Academy is a public charter school for 11th and 12th graders. It's a high school experience that's specifically designed to make sure students can get a nursing degree. And we're expanding in the fall to allow students who want to get a manufacturing degree to go after that. And so a lot of other states have these early college academies. It's just new here in West Virginia. And the idea is, how do we get you on a pathway, and how do we make sure that you're getting the same job and the same experience that students have who come to us as traditional college students? So it's very boutique, and it's designed for students who already know that they want this experience. And our info sessions have been so fun because students are bringing their grandparents, they're bringing their parents and their older siblings. We have a couple sisters who I know the grandfather was trying to talk the older sister into coming with her little sister. So that's all been really wonderful, just to see families come out and talk about what a great experience this has been for their kids, and what a good opportunity it is for kids who want to sign up.
And you mentioned parents and grandparents, and I know a lot of our folks who are listening right now know what the term FAFSA means. Yeah. That's financial. Well, I don't exactly. What does it actually stand? It's financial aid, but what does it actually stand for?
The Federal Free Application for Federal Student Aid.
Okay.
So the federal government, if you want access to federal dollars to go to college, they make you fill out this form. They've changed the form this year.
I was going to say, haven't there been some problems with the form this year? From what I understand?
It's been kind of rocky. The intention was, Congress said, make the form shorter. It's too long. It's 50 pages long. This is ridiculous. Make it shorter. So the Department of Education in D.C. has been trying to make it shorter, and it has not been a smooth transition. The new form is supposed to pull data directly from your tax return and directly from sources the feds already have. It's not working quite as they hoped it would. So once they get the bugs ironed out, we are really hopeful that it'll make the process easier for families. We'll have kids who are in the foster care system who don't have access to parents' information to fill out the form. And so this should help, but we're not there yet.
And that you are offering some help with this program for parents and grandparents.
So BridgeValley is doing FAFSA workshops for folks. We want to make sure that people understand how to fill out the form. I know when I was a student, my parents had never gone to college. And so my mom said, great, fill out whatever forms you have to fill out. And I remember sitting at the kitchen table crying, being so frustrated trying to fill out this form. And so we try and make it easier than that for families. We don't want other kids to have the same experience that is just that frustration of not knowing how to do it.
And I do want to mention that I get some information from the Kanawha County Board of Education. Last week I was kind of going back, or actually earlier this week, and I think I'm working with Brianna and the folks in the board's office, and I'm going to have someone from the Kanawha County school system on the show next week to talk about that, because they're doing some things as well, because it is very, very difficult. And you know, going back, as you said, you were someone like myself. My parents also did not go to college. I think my mother maybe taken a couple classes here or there, but did not have a college education. And sometimes you're asking people to fill out forms that maybe have zero experience with them, and it can be kind of difficult.
And they're frustrating.
And let's be honest, Dr. Sachs, the government doesn't always make things easier.
No, it's all well-intentioned, but really more complicated than any one of us might make it. But you're right, Kanawha County Schools is doing FAFSA workshops for students and families, and we're a part of that too. We're really excited to be able to help reach out into the school district, and really anything we can do to help our families be able to get access, because so many folks can get this money and have then their college costs be much, much lower. With the West Virginia Invest Grant in community colleges, that makes the tuition covered for families, even if you don't qualify for the federal aid. But you still have to fill out the federal form. So we want to help folks.
Appreciate you doing that. And I know, as you said, the folks in the Kanawha County school system and other school systems around the area are trying to help out with that as well. We're talking with Dr. Casey Sachs of BridgeValley. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live is brought to you part by Pinnacle Consultants, the only accredited commercial lab in the state for asbestos and mold. Asbestos was banned in some building products, but not banned for all products in the U.S. Don't expose your family or workers to asbestos, mold, or lead paint. Get with Pinnacle Consultants. They offer real estate environmental assessments for hazardous materials and air quality. Visit pinnaclecorp.net, because what you don't know can't hurt you. Dr. Sachs, earlier this week there was an open house about the FAME program. And we spent a lot of time talking about FAME, not the Irene Cara song, but obscure reference there. So tell us about the FAME program and tell us about the open house.
Yes, so the FAME is the Federation for Advanced Manufacturing Education. It's a group that Toyota actually started in Kentucky, and they've replicated here. And so the Federation is a group of manufacturers who have collaboratively said, we don't want to steal talent from each other. We want to help grow talent in our community. So they pick an education provider. They picked BridgeValley. And they work with the Putnam County Development Authority to help recruit students to come into manufacturing. And the FAME businesses select people, and they work 3 days a week at a business, and they come to BridgeValley 2 days a week for school. The business pays them while they're going to school. And we do all of the classroom instruction so that they are able to go into advanced manufacturing technology. Most of those FAME companies hire students when they graduate. About 9 out of 10 end up with jobs at those same companies where they've been.
And that's amazing to me, because looking back 100 years ago when I was in college, thinking that, okay, I'm working at a place, you're paying me to get educated, and 9 out of 10 of those students have a job waiting on them at the place that they've been working.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
It's really how we should be doing things. It's just, it takes that real collaboration between employers who have stepped up to say, we don't want to poach talent from each other anymore. We want to work collaboratively. And they've all agreed BridgeValley is the place to send people for the training that they need to get the job skills that exist in the community. And then the Putnam County Development Authority acts sort of as an intermediary, where they're out talking to other businesses to recruit them to be part of the group, and talking to kids in schools to say, hey, you really should make sure you're signed up for this training at BridgeValley so you can get these jobs. It's great for all of us.
And you mentioned Toyota. I don't think sometimes people realize what a good community partner, somebody who lives in Putnam County, I know what a good community partner that Toyota has been ever since they've been here. And not only just for Putnam County, but the entire state of West Virginia. They do it right. They really do.
They've been wonderful. We've always had an executive sit on BridgeValley's board for the last 10 years, as long as we've been a college. We run all of our manufacturing programs out of Toyota Hall, out at the Tech Park.
Yep.
They just gave us another scholarship for a group of students. We do a summer STEM camp. So we bring in middle schoolers and high schoolers to help teach them about science, technology, engineering, and math. It's a summer program that we like to do, and Toyota helps sponsor it. They've been a sponsor for the last 10 years. So it really, you're right, they're wonderful community partners. Talk
about some of the other training programs that are available out at BridgeValley as the face of education, as we talk about all the time when you're on the show. The face of education has changed in higher education. Talk about some of the things that are offered out at BridgeValley that people possibly may not be aware of.
So one program that we have that, hospitals are screaming for more people out of this program. It's called Medical Laboratory Technology, or MLT. And the job is people who, once you've had your blood drawn at a hospital, someone has to look at your blood. They have to decide, are you sick? Do you have COVID or do you have the flu? And whoever is looking at those cells, they're medical lab techs. So we have a program that trains people to be medical lab techs. It's a great paying job. All of our students are getting employed, but it's one of those jobs that people don't automatically know about. So we've been recruiting in science classes. We've been recruiting from high schools. We're really trying hard to figure out, how do we get more people to know about MLT, because there's such a demand in the community and it's such a great program. So that's a good example. Another example of something we have that's just highly in demand is the CDL program. You have to have a CDL even just to be a lineman.
Commercial driver's license, yeah.
Commercial driver's license. So one of the projects that we're doing right now that we're pretty excited about is we just started working with an engineer to tear down a couple of old buildings in Montgomery that nobody's been using. And we're going to pave the site, and we'll have a big flat area finally in Montgomery where we can do some really formal CDL training.
Okay, like on the job, actually steering wheel in hand kind of training.
Steering wheel in hand. We put in some really state-of-the-art simulators too, so we can teach you how to double clutch without getting you in the real truck first. And then once you know what the skill looks like, then we can put you in the real truck.
It's amazing right now. I've said this before, that if you have a CDL license in this country right now, you have so many opportunities, and people say, well, I don't want to drive a truck. Well, there's a whole lot more to it than just the truck driving, hauling goods. There's so many. If you got a CDL license, you've got a ticket pretty much to do a whole variety of things, Dr. Sachs.
We have 2 million CDL truck drivers in the country. That's more than there are people in West Virginia. It's a huge industry.
Need more.
We do, and we really need more. And locally, one of the things that I hear from lots of local employers is CDL long haul is a great job, and if that works for you, that's terrific. But lots of folks want to stay in town and want to be home when their kids are home at night.
Yeah.
And the city can't find people to drive trucks. The school districts can't find people to drive school buses. And those are all folks who have to have a CDL.
Indeed. Where can people learn more about any of the activities that we talked about today? Give us the website and whatnot.
BridgeValley.edu.
All right, Dr. Sachs, it's always a pleasure to have you on the show. And I can tell one of the great things I like about having you on the show is that you truly believe in the mission of BridgeValley. I mean, you can tell by looking at you and listening to you, you're really excited about the work that you folks are doing out there, and that's great to hear.
It's a wonderful college. The people there are terrific. They've been there a long time, and I'm thrilled to get to be part of the community.
All right, we'll talk to you again soon. I appreciate Dr. Casey Sachs again for BridgeValley. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live is brought to you by Brightway, the Mays agency of Tays Valley. Buying auto insurance can be complicated. That's why you need a local person to look out for you at Brightway, the Mays agency. They can customize your policies with coverages you need and want. Call John and Sherry Mays today, 304.
Brought to you by the Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses. Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses live to make life better for you and your family.
Are you looking for a powerful, luxurious, and innovative truck? Hey, it's Sydney, inviting you to find new roads with Thornhill and check out the new 2024 Chevrolet Silverado 1500 Crew Cab LTZ and High Country at Thornhill GM Superstore on the Thornhill Motor Mile. Right now, you can get 1.9% APR for well-qualified buyers or $5,000 total value when you trade in an eligible vehicle. It's an opportunity to save big on the new Chevy truck that'll haul the winter blues away. Find new roads to Thornhill GM Superstore. Click or come by at thornhillgmsuperstore.com or on the road to Total Savings, US 119 Chapmanville. All offers through GM Financial. See Thornhill for all details.
If there's not a Parmar store near you now, there will be soon. You hear us say that a lot, but it's true. Wherever you may go, chances are you'll find a Parmar store there, offering everything you need to get you in and then back on the road as soon as possible. From gas to groceries and snacks and items for your house, we have it at Parmar stores. Download the app and sign up for the Parmar Rewards Card too. West Virginia, Kentucky, Ohio, Maryland, Pennsylvania, and Virginia. If there's not a Parmar store near you now, there will be soon.
Hello, I am Judge Stephanie Abraham, and I am running for Circuit Court here in Kanawha County.
Judge Stephanie Abraham was appointed to the Circuit Court by Governor Jim Justice. Judge Stephanie Abraham owned and managed her own law firm and was an attorney for the Department of Education and General Counsel for the State Board of Education. Judge Stephanie Abraham is a fair and balanced but tough judge who will always follow the Constitution to protect liberty and achieve justice for all.
I am Judge Stephanie Abraham. I appreciate your vote for Kanawha County Circuit Court.
Paid for by the committee to elect Judge Stephanie Abraham.
Walker Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram and Hurricane wants to make this a December you'll never forget. Get ready for a brand new year in a brand new vehicle. How about a new Jeep Gladiator starting at just $40,999? And if a new year of luxury is what you're after, then you've got to check out the 2024 Jeep Grand Cherokee. Now Walker priced with up to $8,000 off. New Ram Laramies are plentiful at Walker with up to $15,500 off. You know, Gene and Ryan have also stocked a used lot to capacity, and that means that anything you want, Walker has it. From Toyotas to Jeeps, Subarus to Fords, and everything from cars to trucks and SUVs. Plus, you do know that Gene and Ryan built their business the old-fashioned way by making friends. There are no gimmicks or games at Walker, just honest, fair deals. So make this holiday season memorable and kick your new year off with a new ride. Take that time.
Got 19 minutes away from 10. Piggly Wiggly hotline 304-345-5858. Fruit Pharmacy text 304-935-5008. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by General Hardware and Lumber of Winfield. Come check out the new contractor showroom, lumber yard, and more. They deliver service and quality right to your door. Don't buy until you get a quote from General Hardware and Lumber of Winfield. Tomorrow is the deadline if you're going to run for office in West Virginia. And Brittany Westfall, who is the elections director for the West Virginia Secretary of State's office, is going to join us to talk about that a little bit later on. I want to welcome to the show now, though, Tristan Leavitt. He's a candidate for House to District 53. Is that right?
That's right.
All right. Welcome to the show. Good morning.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for being here. Now, you've been on the show before, but tell us a little bit about Tristan Leavitt. Give us the bio on yourself, sir.
Yeah, absolutely. So I grew up in rural Idaho, the oldest of 7 children. My dad's a small business owner, did drywall. My mom stayed home to raise us. I grew up with him. He needed help, so I grew up in the summers doing drywall. So I learned the value of hard work at an early age, hanging sheetrock. And money was always tight, so I also learned the value of watching every dollar and making it count. I met the love of my life, Brittany Atkinson, in college, and so I first came to Charleston in 2005. She's a lifelong resident. She was born and raised in Kanawha County, and so I knew when I married her, I was marrying into West Virginia for life, and so our oldest son was born here at Women's and Children's in 2007. I worked here at Steptoe and Johnson in 2010 as a lawyer, and I thought we would stay here, but I had a very unique opportunity to go work for Senator Chuck Grassley on the Senate Judiciary Committee in Congress, and as a lawyer investigating waste, fraud, and abuse in the federal government. And my first investigation was into Operation Fast and Furious. And so for the next really 10 years after that, my career was just working with whistleblowers to find and fix problems in government. So we have 5 kids. We moved back here to raise those 5 children. They range from a junior at Capitol High School down to a kindergartner at Ruffner Elementary, who was just honored this morning. We were just there for her leadership with some of her peers. And our kids are just involved in all sorts of things. So you'll find us at school sporting events and performing arts activities and Kanawha City soccer games and Appalachian Children's Chorus and River City Youth Ballet. So we just love this community and are really proud to be a part of it.
If you don't mind my asking, how did you end up in West Virginia?
So I had the opportunity to work remotely after working with whistleblowers for so long. I had the opportunity to work remotely when I was nominated to a position and confirmed by the United States Senate. And it was to be as a judge to hear appeals from federal employees who had either gotten in trouble for doing bad things that we wanted to get out the door, or those that were whistleblowers being retaliated against. So as soon as we had that opportunity to work remotely, we moved back here, which again, we'd talked about for years, and it's been the biggest blessing for us.
Now, you're a multifaceted guy, and you've kind of gotten into that a little bit, but with all of those things that you've done and all this experience, why do you want to serve in the House?
So this is really a unique opportunity for West Virginia right now. A lot of West Virginians, including those in eastern Kanawha County where we live, are really hurting. And in part, that's because of national things like Bidenomics and killer inflation that are really hurting people in the pocketbook. But a lot of it's really unique to our area, right? So for many years, jobs have been leaving, people have been moving out. Of course, the flooding, the really severe flooding the last 2 summers really, devastated a lot of folks. And so people need a government that works for them. And my background is in finding and fixing problems in government. And so I really want to help to champion West Virginia. And I believe that we can make this state a place where my kids can stay to raise their families. And as a West Virginian by choice, I believe I'm, uniquely qualified also to help champion policies in the State House that will attract more people here to live, work, and raise a family.
What are some of the policies that you'd like to work on and to try to champion, as you said?
So some of them that are really close to our heart, this is Education Freedom Week, and one of the things that we really had followed closely before we moved here was the education, the school choice provision. So the Hope Scholarship is something that we're a beneficiary of. Our daughter has multiple learning disabilities, and 4 of our kids are in public school, but she's at Charleston Montessori. So expanding the Hope Scholarship is something that's very, very important to us. Additionally, even though there have been all these amazing economic development announcements over the last couple of years, I've talked to a lot of companies, and people still look at our public school numbers and say, is this the place where I want to come? And so I'm very passionate about improving our public schools. Not everybody's going to have, even with the Hope Scholarship, the opportunity or the ability to go to a private school. Obviously, homeschooling and microschooling are possible with Hope, but so lots of policies like that. I think the tax cuts are things that will draw people here to our state, and so identifying pro-growth policies that not just bring in the businesses, but bring in the families and individuals to work those. Those are all things that any smart legislator should be very focused on.
Again, we're talking with Tristan Leavitt, who's a candidate for House in District 53. Phone calls to the show service of Biggly Piggly Wiggly, and our texting service is provided by Fruth Pharmacy, your hometown family pharmacy for 71 years. It's been a lively session so far, Tristan. Anything in particular that you've been kind of keeping an eye on, or anything you'd like to comment on so far?
I've been following almost everything. I've spent as much time as I could down at the State House just to follow and learn as much as I could. One thing that I'm really excited about actually comes from last year. I'm on the board of the West Virginia Faith and Freedom Coalition, and so my fellow board member Andrea Garrett and I were at one of the 2 crisis pregnancy centers here in Charleston last fall, and we had a really great conversation there about the importance of caring for young mothers, not just through conception and birth, but with the challenges they face there, especially those who are single mothers. And so Faith and Freedom has helped to get a bill introduced that would remove the sales tax for baby formula, for bottles, for diapers, for car seats. And so we're really excited about that. Obviously, there's a lot of other issues that are going on. And so finding things that will not just, again, attract people here, but protect families, protect children. A lot of that has been discussed. Finding the right way to do it can be complex, but there's exciting things happening, and there's some there's a lot of proposals that will have an impact on people one way or the other, for better or for worse.
And I didn't mention at the top of the show, but I guess people can kind of tell by listening to you that you are a Republican.
I am a Republican. I'm a conservative Republican.
Sometimes with some of my guests, I don't feel like I need to do that. They just listen to you talk, and you can say that you are a conservative Republican.
I am absolutely, yeah. So I'm actually a member of the Kanawha County Republican Executive Committee.
Right. So you weren't around in West Virginia when West Virginia was controlled by by the Democratic Party for 80 years.
Well, again, I worked here at Steptoe during the time when that was.
Yeah, that's right. You were my fault. But for the most part, neither one of us were around for that 80. And before you say it, no, I wasn't around all 80 years, so don't even go there. But my point in saying that is there's been a drastic change. Obviously, that's the understatement of the year in West Virginia since late 2008, 9, 10, 2014, and into the 2000s. I'll just say that. Some have said it's not changed for the better. I would argue that if you look at all of these economic, and I know it's not, as you said, Tristan, not just about the economy, but if you look at all these economic announcements that have been coming, starting well before the current administration and going back then, that something must be going right to have these businesses want to come to West Virginia. That's the point I keep trying to drive home. Yes, the economy may be growing in some areas, but there's a reason why they're choosing West Virginia. So what do you hope to do to further that people would want to choose West Virginia over any other state?
So I tend to think of this issue in two areas. This is the lawyer in me getting in my way, but I think a lot of the low-hanging fruit for Republicans in 2015, like changing right-to-work laws, tort reform, this was on the judicial hellhole list for a lot of years, including when I was at a law firm here. So I think policies like that are why states are newly considering West Virginia. Things have changed in that way. That said, what's left, and of course the tax cuts were a huge accomplishment, and I hope we get down to 0% on the income tax. But again, that's that was the low-hanging fruit for Republicans. Mm-hmm. What's left, it seems to me, are a lot of really complex issues. So again, if we don't fix our public education, people may not come, and if they come, they may not stay. The challenges with thorny issues that I haven't had the chance to roll up my sleeves yet, but PEIA and keeping EMT workers and teacher pay, all of those things. So there are just some structural things, and it's exacerbated by, lingering effects from the COVID pandemic that again, hurt small businesses. So as a small business owner in our home, again, my wife owns Nellie's Cookie Jar. Can't remember if I mentioned that earlier or not, but we're small business owners.
Cheap plug.
And so she's at Capital Market all the time. But so, policies that benefit small businesses, I understand the need to compete with other states with these huge packages to try and attract big corporations. But focusing on small businesses here, too, I think can really help, not just to benefit those that already live here, but again, attract more people to come.
Give me 30 seconds on why people should vote for Tristan Leavitt for House.
Because I show up and I do the work. And if you look on my social media or talk to anyone who's in Kanawha County that's involved in politics, you will see that that's the case. And so I absolutely want to, as a conservative Republican, challenge or champion policies that will benefit West Virginia. And because of my background in finding and fixing problems in government, I believe I can help government work better for you.
Well, wish you the best of luck out on the campaign trail. Tristan Leavitt, Republican candidate for House in District 53. Appreciate you being here. Thanks a lot.
Thanks for having me.
Next time, bring samples, okay?
Will do.
I'm kidding. No, I'm not. 10 minutes away from 10. In the heart of West Virginia, there exists a profound force that goes beyond the realm of sports, transcending limitations and fostering a sense of belonging. Special Olympics, I'm talking about. It's a remarkable initiative. Showcase of the latest episode of West Virginia Enriched in collaboration with Huntington stands as a testament to the power of determination, unity, and unwavering support. See a video highlighting the Special Olympics at facebook.com/580WCHS. Tomorrow is the deadline if you're going to run for office in West Virginia. Brittany Westfall is the Director of Elections for the West Virginia Secretary of State's office. She'll join us next on The Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Brought to you by the Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses. Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses want to thank you for supporting local small businesses.
Are you looking for a powerful, luxurious, and innovative truck? Hey, it's Sydney, inviting you to find new roads with Thornhill and check out the new 2024 Chevrolet Silverado 1500 Crew Cab LTZ and High Country at Thornhill GM Superstore on the Thornhill Motor Mile. Right now, you can get 1.9% APR for well-qualified buyers or $5,000 total value when you trade in an eligible vehicle. It's an opportunity to save big on the new Chevy truck that'll haul the winter blues away. Find new roads to Thornhill GM Superstore. Click or come by at thornhillgmsuperstore.com or on the road to total savings. US 119 Chapmanville. All offers through GM Financial. See Thornhill for all details.
Nearly every day, there is a company announcing new jobs in West Virginia. Thanks to the leadership of State Senator Eric Nelson, West Virginia's economy is growing and our future looks bright. Senator Eric Nelson has been part of the team advancing important pro-growth policies, and because Senator Eric Nelson has helped control government spending, West Virginians are receiving
Thrive with 5 at the best community bank in the Kanawha Valley, Poca Valley Bank. Poca Valley Bank is now offering a certificate of deposit special, 10-month APY, annual percentage yield 5%. Take advantage of this great rate to grow your savings. For more information, stop by a Poca Valley Bank location today or call 844-782-2651. Poca Valley Bank, where relationships matter. Certain terms and conditions apply. Rates based on minimum annual percentage yield, subject to change without notice. Minimum deposit required of $10,000 of new money not currently on deposit with Poca Valley Bank to receive APY. Member FDIC.
Having issues with your home like wet basements, water in your crawl space, bowing or leaning walls, or foundation cracks? You need Foster Construction, your foundation repair experts. Locally owned and operated, Foster Construction offers free inspections and estimates and has a licensed professional engineer on staff. Their services include basement and crawl space waterproofing, foundation repair, and retaining walls. Call 304-776-6263 and get started today. Online at fosterconstructionwv.com. Foster Construction. They'll fix it right the first time.
7 away from 10, the Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you part by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. The A-Train Anthony Hartman is our producer today. Tomorrow is the last day for candidates to file to run for office for the May 14th primary election. Brittany Westfall is the Director of Elections for the West Virginia Secretary of State's office, and she joins us now. Brittany, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning. Thank you.
Thank you for being here. Fun times all the way up till midnight tomorrow night in the Secretary of State's office, right?
That is correct.
So I was looking at the numbers, and so far nearly 500 people overall have filed to run for offices around the state. Is that right?
That's correct. Well, all around the state, if you count the county offices, we're now over statewide 1,700 candidates.
And there are, as you said, there are many, not only statewide, but also you've got the local races as well. What does it actually take to file to run for office in West Virginia, Brittany?
So to run for office in the primary election, you will need to file your certificate announcement, candidate filing fee, and have that notarized or come here to have it notarized at the Secretary of State's office. So that is if you want to run for a state office or a multi-county office. If you want to run for a county office, then you'll do that filing with your county clerk. So you'll need your certificate of announcement. You'll need to make sure that is notarized and to have your filing fee. Now, our state capitol, we are going to be open here until midnight tomorrow night. So from 9 to midnight. For county offices, they will be open from 9 to noon, but you should definitely contact your county clerk's office just to make sure.
Yeah, because all of the courthouses, as you said, the county clerk's office, whatnot, they may be different. But at the Capitol, you folks are going to be there till midnight tomorrow night, and it's always interesting. Even well before I started doing this show, Brittany, and before I spent my time working in the Secretary of State's office, it's always interesting how people will watch that website and watch to see who comes in. Because there are those, as you know, with the flair for the dramatic, and there's nothing wrong with that like to come in at 11:55, or they like to bring the entire family with them, or their entourage with them and film it and so on and so forth. So there's a little bit of drama involved here, right?
Well, I hope there's no drama, but yes, people do.
Not on your end. The drama on their end. I mean, definitely not on your end. Yeah, and you mentioned that they can file at their county clerk's office and so on and so forth, or come into the Secretary of State's office. And you folks have done a great job of keeping track of all the filings on the website as well.
Well, thank you. Yes, we like to have those up. The public is looking forward to seeing those.
Any advice that you want to give to those that are on the fence right now as to whether they should decide to run for office tomorrow or not? Any advice you want to give them?
Yes, I want to be sure that if you are getting your filing in the mail, you want to make sure that is postmarked at the United States Post Office by tomorrow, by the 27th. If you're coming in person, you know the hours now, so come see us. If you are mailing your form, you want to contact us just to make sure you're filling everything out right. Because if that comes after the 27th and there's mistakes, then we will not be able to accept that. So let's be very careful as we're filing at the last minute to make sure you have all your information and requirements for running.
All right, Brittany, I know you folks are busy in the office as you head up into 12:01 a.m. Sunday morning. I'll let you get back to it. Brittany Westfall, I appreciate you being here. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
All right, Brittany Westfall, again, the Director of Elections for the West Virginia Secretary of State's office. Let me knock out a couple of texts here before we end it all for the week. Text says, Dave, big thanks to Delegates Horst, Hornsby, Thorne, Heckard, Height, and Dean for introducing House Bill 5008 to bring a true 365-day fishing license program to West Virginia. Good for 1 year from date of purchase. Hopefully it passes and we bring West Virginia fishing into the 21st century. Text says, ask Tristan why it is 3.2% GDP growth the last quarter under Biden is good. Federal money and incentives are the reasons for job growth. Stop lying to yourself and to everyone else. Well, again, why are they choosing West Virginia to come here, though? Text says, Dave, don't need more women haters in the legislature. Social issues and the people needs to stop, according to a texter. We're going to be keeping a close eye on the Republican Party's winter meeting tomorrow in Charleston. The Republican Executive Committee will meet to vote on a proposed resolution to close the Republican primary this May to anyone other than registered Republicans. So in other words, if you are a registered independent, if this passes tomorrow, what's being proposed, you would not be allowed to request a Republican ballot, as many independents frequently do. Again, if you're registered, it's nonpartisan, you or independent, you go to your polling place and you say, I am Dave, I would like to have a Republican or Democrat ballot. If some Republicans get their way, then you'd have to be a registered Republican. And if you're not, you would only be able to vote for the nonpartisan races, your judges, magistrates, whatever. That's going to be taken up at the Republican Party's winter meeting tomorrow in Charleston. It was scheduled for last week, but because of the weather, it was postponed to this week. I'm not sure which way it's going to go. Hoppy actually has a poll going on X, the artist formerly known as Twitter, right now, so you could weigh in on what you think about that. I will say this editorial comment. I don't think it's a smart move on behalf of Republicans. I really don't. There are a lot of people that are registered independent, and the studies have shown they tend to vote Republican. And I think you run the risk, in my opinion, of peeing off a whole lot of independents if this passes. We'll see what happens. It'll happen tomorrow. Also, Republican Party may be choosing a new chair tomorrow. Elgin McCardle is going to be stepping down to perhaps run for a judicial position. All right, got to go. Thank you to all my guests today. Coming up on Monday's show, Terrell Ellis from Advantage Valley will be stopping by. Also, John Corbett from the Special Olympics is on the show as well. Hoppy Kirchhoff coming up with the news. My producer was the A-Train, Anthony Harmon. Thank you so much. Follow the news of the day, WVMetroNews.com and at WCHSNetwork.com. See you Monday. Have a good weekend. Till next time, have fun and love somebody.
580 WCHS AM, 96.5 FM Charleston, and 104.5 Cross Lanes.
A WVRC media station.
We're proud to live here, too.